HarperCollins presents The Lost Child by Kathleen Mcgurl. Read by Rose Robinson. Prologue. 15th of April, 1912. The ship was listing badly now, and it was all Arthur Watts could do to stay upright and keep hold of the precious bundle in his arms. He transferred the child to one arm so he could cling onto a railing with his other hand, and heaved himself along the slanting deck to where a lifeboat was being made ready to launch. It was his last chance. His only chance. The last lifeboat. Lucy, thank goodness, had got away on an earlier boat. She'd been carrying little Frederick while he'd brought tiny Nora. The twins were only 10 weeks old. Arthur and Lucy had been planning a new life in America and had saved for years to pay for their passage. And now this. They'd been fast asleep in their steerage cabin when the ship struck something. An iceberg, people were saying. When it became clear that the Titanic was in trouble, they'd grabbed a baby each and headed up to the boat deck. And there, they'd been separated. "Women and children first!" an officer had shouted, pushing Lucy through the crowd while Arthur was held back. "Our baby! Pass her our baby!" he'd yelled, but in all the noise and commotion no one had heard. He'd caught glimpses, through the masses of people, of Lucy being hauled onto a lifeboat, the boat being swung wildly out on its davits and then lowered, too fast, into the water. He'd leaned over the side and could just see a crewman take the oars and begin rowing the boat away, while Lucy stared up at the ship, shouting something. "I'll get on another boat!" Arthur had yelled back, but he doubted she'd heard. All around people were shouting and screaming. Arthur had joined the masses around other lifeboats, but only women were allowed through, and no one seemed to realize the bundle of blankets he clutched contained a child. His little girl. His son and wife were safe, but this little one was going to perish along with him if he didn't take action soon. In his arms she whimpered and wriggled. "Shush, my pet. Daddy will do all he can to save you." And now this lifeboat was the last one. Men were boarding it. All the women had already gone. It was a chance for them. The last chance to save himself and little Nora. He pushed forward, but there were too many people, all of them trying to clamber aboard, and already they were swinging the lifeboat out. He was being shoved and jostled and struggled to keep Nora safe in his arms. "Where have you ladies been hiding?" an officer called out, and Arthur noticed 2 women in stewardess's uniform being pushed through the crowd to the lifeboat. This was it. His final chance. He thrust the bundle containing Nora at one of the women. "My baby, take her, please!" The stewardess stared at him with wide brown eyes, but she opened her arms and took the baby wordlessly. Arthur watched as she and the other woman struggled onto the lifeboat and took up seats, and the boat was hurriedly lowered into the water. It hit the sea hard, sending people falling into the bottom of the boat, but the stewardess managed to keep hold of Nora, and even now was tucking the blanket she was wrapped in tightly around her. "Thank you," Arthur whispered as he clung to the deck rail, watching. Down below, a crewman in that last lifeboat shouted, "Oars out!" And then it was moving away, the crewmen aboard pulling strongly to get away from Titanic before she went down. Arthur stayed where he was. Around him, other men were rushing everywhere, shouting about launching the collapsible life rafts. There were hundreds more people still on board than the collapsibles would take. There was no point him joining them, trying to get on a raft. He'd saved his wife and children, and now he must make his peace with the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?